And I think Nigma obviously suffering because they're playing in that tough European region, but I don't think you can just blame the region they're playing in for not qualifying. They didn't play that well. They looked a bit lost maybe on the new patch, but...
No, there's definitely been, it's, you know, with the current Nigma squad, there's been hit and miss games, right, in terms of drafting. Yes. You'll see straight off the bat, Nigma will have series where they just don't get it together from minute one and the game sort of snowballs out of control very heavily. We'll see what we're going to have coming into this first series between these two teams here, coming into this Game 1 draft so far. Well, many of the bans already been dealt with. No huge surprises really there. Nigma opening with the incredibly strong Void Spirit, as always, backing it up with the Wyvern. And VP going for some Enchantress Timbersaw. And Enchantress, very much a hero that's sort of, you know, very popular at the moment, right? It's that hero that's incredibly annoying to deal with in sort of all parts of the game.
Oh yeah, she scales so well with the impetus damage and is always scary. Can be moved to a support role, can be put in a 3-position role, so that flexibility is nice. Timbersaw very early though. I feel like this is a pick VP have maybe game plan to pick up second and then ban out some of the counters. They obviously must have a lot of faith in it because this is typically a hero you consider to be like a 9th or 10th pick hero.
I mean, I could only imagine maybe it's down to the fact that they obviously, you know, they saw the Void Spirit first up. They assume it is going to be a mid Void Spirit, and then perhaps VP want to play the Timber mid this game and feel that it's a hero that they feel quite confident in that 1v1 matchup, because there's certainly a lot of matchups in the middle lane against Void Spirit where you just have a pretty terrible time. This hero is very, very strong. If you do not have a good way of sort of contesting the CS, he's just going to free farm in the mid. At least there's this way with Timber. You can spam him out the lane. You don't care too much about the Resident Pulse because you're not trying to right-click him down. You're all about the nukes.
Yeah, and it may just push Nigma to play the Void Spirit more as a 4-position or an off-laner.
Yeah, we saw it already today from Secret.
Yep.
For that sort of exact same reason it seemed to be in their draft. They pick it first. They're not happy with the game. It's fine. Play it somewhere else. It's still a very good hero.
Yeah. Key thing for Timber is making sure you aren't against certain particular hard counters. Slark being one of the biggest, Leshrac, at least a counter in a lot of senses because you're not right-clicking. It's all magic damage. Can lane against Timber very well. It's probably one of the preferred carries if you have to play against an off-lane Timbersaw. So their bans just looking to protect the Timber pick regardless of where he's going to lane. Mid, safe lane, off lane. Timber is a hero that does not want to play from behind.
Also, another, you know, looking at the Wyvern pick, another reason why we may see it here from Nigma. It could be just to put VP off playing the Meepo. They have been trying out the Meepo a few times recently with no one, of course, playing it. So, also, you know, it's just that hero. You pick it now, it stops any chance of a Meepo game happening.
Nigma themselves are big Meepo players. They played it in their first game early today. I want to say one of the games earlier today. I think they had like a 16, 17-minute win. Of course, that was one of his signature heroes when he came onto the scene. But we'll see. It's definitely viable for Nigma still, I'd say. Timbersaw, not really a counter to me. I mean, he's got some AoE damage. It's good. It's not...
Yeah, I'd agree. I don't think you're scared to not pull out the Meepo if you're Nigma in this game. It's definitely a chance for it. Obviously, VP over there. Last remaining 3 picks, they may pick something else that looks to make it pretty nasty. As you say, you know, we're thinking about the Meepo because Wyvern's been taken up by Nigma and setting it up for themselves as a good game. VP's got to be considering that as well already.
Meepo also feels really good right now in this patch. I don't know. Every time I see Meepo get played, I'm like, wow, that hero looks kind of OP almost. But that's something much later in the draft. For now, Nigma get their Tiny. Interesting to see where this hero ends up.
No, I like already. I mean, you could even argue with the Wyvern. You have 3 heroes that can be played in many different ways. I mean, the same to be said for sort of the 2 that have been revealed so far by VP. Sure, we're not going to see something crazy like a Timbersaw support, but this could go in any 3 of the lanes, depending on what matchups are available for him. Shaker, that's going to be brought into the mix. Extra bit of control that you absolutely need against the Void Spirit. So far, Timbersaw and Enchantress would do nothing to hold this man in place. Now, they'll probably pick something else, I feel, that has that follow-up catch, but now you've got a way of starting it. You've got the Fisher from the tree line that's going to be there for the setup. Allow one of the members of VP to get on top of the Void Spirit and really hold him down.
Yeah, playing against Void Spirit without any stuns or silence is just impossible. It feels so frustrating when this hero can be so elusive, bouncing in and out of fights. So definitely a necessity for VP. I think, like you say, not just have the Shaker, but have something to follow it up.
I think you definitely, Shaker's not enough. Yep. He's sort of half of the package. You need something else. on top of it to really feel confident in a game against Void Spirit.
Yep. We'll see where VP go. They've got plenty of flexibility since Timber can go any of the 3 lanes. Ooh, Necro. There we go. That's a hero that's good against Timbersaw.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely. Don't have to worry working through that last bit of HP, that last bit of, at the point where he's going to be likely to have max reactive armor stacks. You just nuke him out with the Reaper's Scythe. Of course, a lot of good heals and sustain now, sort of between the heroes of Nigma, having this Wyvern and Necrophos. It's going to be very nice for when they start to group up and push and look for these fights. Whereas for VP, at the moment, the Ench and her heal, that's all they sort of have defensively. They don't really have anything else to buff up and protect the Timbersaw. They may go down that route with these next few picks. As this Timbersaw, he's going to be vulnerable. A lot of burst from Nigma's lineup. These 4 heroes can blow up a Timbersaw.
Yeah, I feel like the saves are one of the better ones, probably something like an OD with the Astral. Like you've already got, to me, your 2 supports, the Enchantress, Earthshaker, most likely are going to be supports here. So heroes like the Oracle just hard to fit into your draft. Like I just feel like an Oracle does not fit their draft at all right now. So more likely we have to see the cores making a big difference here. And maybe you say, well, they're going to draft all these heroes to counter Timbersaw. Let's make sure these next 2 picks count because they're the heroes that are going to go uncountered.
Dire team back.
Anti-Mage, one of the best heroes in the game against Necrophos.
Okay.
Miserable playing against him. You can quickly burn all your mana, blow you up, and also his insanely high magic resistance just means he's much harder to kill and deal with.
Yeah, I'll be interested because I do feel that Nigma's lineup is going to try and play pretty fast. Void Spirit and Tiny, there's going to be the stage of the game where they're active. Anti-Mage, if he's had a good start, is only just finishing his Battle Fury. Void Spirit and Tiny, they very easily can catch you out. You've got Great Disable, the Avalanche into the Remnant, even sort of the toss back into the Remnant Taunt from Void Spirit. It does make it a little spooky for the AM. If this is... I imagine as well, it looks like they're saving their... Well, I guess they're mid right. Well, like where's this Timbersaw going now? Do you think it is? Is it going to be mid?
With the AM pick, like running offlane Timbersaw with AM as your carry seems very greedy to me.
Okay.
Like normally I think of the carries you want with, because offlane Timber wants to kind of play on his own, take up a lot of farm, take up a lot of space. So it doesn't really create space for an AM very well. So maybe I'd almost lean towards the mid Timbersaw, but at the same time, I don't know, if you're laning maybe against a Necrophos there, that can just be rough.
It really, because it does feel like that. It's like they picked the Timber maybe, they wanted to drop it mid against the Void Spirit, and then Nigma with their next 3 picks are saying, do not play this hero mid.
Yep.
There's the Meepo ban. We mentioned it earlier with that Wyvern pickup early from Nigma, second up in the draft. They were definitely setting up for the chance of grabbing themselves. And now that they're playing an AM, Meepo would sort of be real. That would really seal the deal for Nigma. So smart ban from VP.
Yeah, Meepo into AM is like a free win, I think. They have Shaker Timber, doesn't matter. Your AM is useless. Meepo plays super fast pace, takes Roche with like E-Blade Wraith Bands at 15 minutes. So
and it's smart as well because there's a very big chance Nigma would have picked that Meepo because you look at their heroes and I think they're trying to sort of bait them away from thinking about it. They're like, hey, we're going to play Void Spirit mid. Oh, we might move into a side lane actually. We'll put Necrophos mid. Trying to make them not think about it at all. So VP, they are going to put the Timbersaw in the offlane. So as you say, going maybe a little greedy on that half. And they're going to be running the SF in that middle lane.
Wow.
Again, another hero that I feel you're pretty happy laning against most of these. Void Spirit, you can very easily bully him out the lane with some nice raises. And Nigma, they're going to rest on the Miracle Troll to carry them around this time. So we will get to see that we have Void Spirit in the mid lane up against no one SF. It's going to be a fun matchup to watch there because someone's gonna push it too far. Someone's going to push the limit. There's either going to be a Void Spirit jumping in for that last bit of nuke damage and getting caught out by the third raise as the stacks build up on him, or the other way around. Weehar's going to be able to pop no one, maybe catch him out with a Remnant as he tries to line up that third and final raise.
Yep. I'm excited to see how GH does on his Tiny. Obviously, a lot of talk around him and not playing Tiny, during that True Sight. One of the heroes that wasn't really in his repertoire at TI. But this is the roaming hero that can ruin SF's game. Because I feel like this SF Void Spirit matchup is kind of SF favored. Like you say, it's kind of chaotic.
I feel so, yeah.
Both heroes have kill potential. So if you slightly misplay, he's an aggressive mid player. He loves to go for kills. So is no one. These guys are both diving towers.
This is going to be an excellent mid matchup.
That's where heroes like Tiny, and then you've got Zyats and Shaker. These guys are both going to be playing around that mid lane a lot, I feel.
Oh, yeah. Both of these heroes plus their Roman 4, that's going to be a dead mid laner on the other side. So both teams are going to be very ready for those movements, which obviously from VP side will pretty much only come out from their supports, as you said, earlier, because they are doing this like Timber on the off lane, anti-mage on the side. These heroes aren't going to be really that ready to do anything crazy. Sure, Timber's going to try and keep himself in a lane, be a nuisance, constantly shove in, get close to the towers, put that early pressure on, but he's not going to be jumping around the map setting up plays for sort of his SF. That's only going to be down to really just the SF and the Shaker to make sort of those mid-game plays. Even the Ench, it's a nice bit of damage, a bit of a slow, but a lot on the Shaker, and particularly if this Void Spirit does have a good lane, gets those sort of ganks, gets those kills, it is going to be hard to deal with him. They only have the Shaker to lock him down. The other 4 heroes, Weehaw can dance around them all day.
Oh yeah, that's a scary prospect, and I don't feel like VP have the strongest lanes by any means, depending what matchups they get. I think the key thing is you'd love to have Timbersaw against, like, seeing this Troll pick, I'm like, that's not a hero that's good against Timber, but of course they're going to be looking to dodge some of those matchups, try and make sure that the Necrophos is playing against Timbersaw. And if they can get a 1v1 matchup there, while contesting the AM's farm, to me, Nigma's laning setup looks really good.
I mean, do you have to adjust if you're VP against that? I mean, can you with these heroes? Does it really sort of...
I mean, you can try out mind game them and, send Timbersaw safe lanes, put AM in the off lane. Like
But I feel it's hard because the Timber, he is... I guess AM is still going to have troubles elsewhere.
The side lanes are kind of interchangeable. It's more about getting a good matchup rather than which lane you're in of the side lanes.
We'll see Solo. A little bit of a Fisher block from Zayats will slow down Miracle's attempt, but GH, he's staying on top of this. He's going to have toss back up in 5 seconds. Kuro's out as well with burn. Solo actually steps back and gets caught by the slow once more.
Could be dead.
And he certainly is. Toss up, give the kill to you, carry, and Miracle will take first blood.
Wow, Orb of Venom starting item with the boots tiny gives them so much kill potential there. And this is what I was talking about. You want to try to get that Timber versus Troll matchup, so Resolution. He started top. He actually showed himself by grabbing the output. Well, I don't know if he was actually in vision, but he's now rotating bottom to try to get this good matchup. At the same time, Miracle, he's making the journey from bottom all the way up to top. So we're going to see some musical lanes here, it looks like.
Oh, yeah, Kuro's just going to stay on Rezo.
That means the supports get the lane. We've got a Shaker versus Tiny down bottom. This is, normal stuff. Zayats and GH like, okay, we can play core this game.
Yeah, let's see who's going to get the most out of this temporary 1v1 down here between your position 4s.
Get some CS lulls in the chat for that missed range creep by the toss.
I mean, it's definitely causing issues for VP. I'm seeing Resolution and Anti-Mage. They're just sitting in the jungle at mid lane.
Yeah.
And mid lane. Oh, okay, no.
Wow.
This is what we're talking about. Those raises can really ruin a Void Spirit stay early on. Yep. You don't have the point, of course, in the jump yet. You have no mobility with just the point in the pulse.
I love it when they start jungling because they're like, I don't know which lane has the good matchup. Let's just jungle together.
This is, I mean...
I've seen this a few times before, and it's just like... They're so stubborn. I mean, they want their lanes.
You gotta get...
You've got 5 positions in the top lane, 4 positions in the bot lane, and the core is the jungling.
This is... they're arguing. Kuma's like, I don't want to go bottom. He's like, what are they doing?
Yeah, Kuman's like, I should have picked Legion if I was going to jungle. What is this?
I mean, they must be... This is unheard of. Get to the lanes, boys.
The laning matchups just make such a big difference this game, so...
Yeah, but the answer is to not go to a single lane at all.
I don't know if that's the answer. These teams think it is.
I can't lose the side lanes if we don't go to them.
Yep.
What do they do? Somebody get to a lane. Go double safe lane or something at least. Don't double jungle.
Miracle's in the lane. He's come bot with the GH initiation. Would love this kill, but doesn't look like he can get it. And that means Timbersaw's got a lane. He's like, all right, I found my lane.
All right.
Troll's down bottom.
But will they then move it?
I mean,
he's already started.
Look how high level Zayats is. He's a support.
All right. Well, I think you're going to look to no one to be the real driving force this game.
Got top CS. It's Solo.
Solo? That's never happened. 2 minutes in, Solo top CS. All righty.
Well, in the end, VP win the lane battle.
Yeah, I said the mid lane was going to be entertaining, but it's pretty much everywhere else on the map where we're seeing sort of the good old clown fiesta to start things off this game.
Yes. I mean, perhaps Nigma just thinking with the high levels, like Kuro's high level, so he can actually really pressure this AM a lot since it's like a, level 1, level 2 AM.
So we'll be fine here. Got the level 3. There's some good levels on these supports, at least thanks to these core shenanigans mid lane.
Yeah, that's the tiny roam we're talking about.
As the setup. And no one, he knows there's
he's going for the courier kill.
He gets it.
Okay.
All right. You took my life, but I took your courier. So no one able to at least get something out of that as he gets brought down. Bottom lane, Zayats bullying Miracle out of the lane here. I think Miracle's just straight up dead. Zayats, he says, go back to the jungle, Kuman. I am going to carry this game. As Zayats, Shaker, and those early levels, that gave him the kill.
It's so, I'm sure these core players are just like throwing off their game because they go to lane as like probably level 1, maybe just hitting level 2 against these level 4 supports or level 3.5 supports. And usually you as a core are used to being higher level than the support. So, you know, that's a Shaker who had all 3 of his skills leveled up very early on. So something you're just not used to playing against.
Oh, interesting to see if we do have anyone else head back mid. Looks like top lane Solo is getting body blocked here by Mind Control. Will get himself through the trees. Kuro's doing his best to stay on top of them, but Solo pops the heal. Kuman's able to turn, burn the entirety of Mind Control's mana. And no sort of mana sustain on Mind Control at the moment. He has not got any way of building that back up other than the use of that passive ability of the Necrophos. Mid lane, action happening as well as down bottom. Miracle is able to get under the tower and kill off Resolution. Mid lane, the fight hasn't quite finished yet. GH duking this one out. No one can't quite find the razors to do it, as GH will survive. But the Void Spirit's gone. GH, he's happy though. He's took a bit of farm down bottom, now moved to mid. You know, he's playing all the core roles this game, GH.
Yeah, very fast Trenkle Boots, and he's able to, apply a lot of pressure on the map, but not there in time to save his buddy this time. Last time he sets up the kill, but yeah, we'll see. This game just feels very odd right now. It does feel like VP getting slightly better outcome from the lanes, with both SF and AM having good games so far. Timbersaw, one of those series you don't like to see have these slow starts, but I don't feel like if you're VP, you could have expected to have all 3 cores have a good game. It's just too greedy of a draft for everyone to prosper.
No, considering the potential lane situation, yeah, this has not been too bad at all for VP. Solo is able to get in, snap himself an easy courier.
Couriers galore.
And some lane movements once again. Mind Control is going to look to head down to the bottom lane, mid lane. Another attempt on Weehart, but it's a bit of a bait, because this time he's got the jump ready. GH looks for the toss back, won't get it. Only onto the siege creep, so they will not get the kill on no one this time around.
I thought Shaker was going to linger around, but he's just said, nah, you're fine, SF. I'm headed top. Found myself a nice, juicy Kuro kill.
I was going to say, Kuro was trying to 1v1 it a bit with Solo there, but Solo was purely just baiting him in, buying time for Zayats to come in like this.
Yep.
And back to mid. See another shot onto no one. See if they can do this time. They'll clear out the creeps with the Avalanche. TP's in from Solo. And again, not being able to find the toss back. GH, he will die as no one turns, takes him out with the razors. Weehar's going for the rune, but he's surrounded. There's 3 heroes here. Has to jump defensively up to the high ground. Will manage to get away.
Not sure if SF had a bottle there, but he could have definitely grabbed the rune if they wanted to leave it for him. AM at top, but still not having the easiest lane now that Trolls made the rotation up here. Same time, 3 heroes laying a trap for Miracle.
Zayats is hiding. He's got stuns to offer up to keep Solo safe, and now they'll turn. Impetus out and blink forward. Kuman's going to stay on top of this one. There's the backup from GH. He will come across, try and help out. They'll turn. Kuman's getting low. His blink, of course, still on cooldown for 10 seconds. He's able to get away, though. Zayats giving him the safety to back off, and Zayats himself will also survive. Again, these great movements from Zayats, keeping his core safe in numerous situations now. There's Miracle. Will step in for the kill. Kuman doesn't want to blink in aggressively to try for Miracle, with GH still being around alongside Kuro.
Rezo with level 5 starting to be a bully down bottom, and he's going to hit level 6 and really pose a threat to kill off Mind Control here. Definitely a bit of a uneventful lane so far that could get a bit spicy with these level 6s coming to play, and Mind Control not even level 5, so this is going to get really tough for him.
Yeah, definitely has to be wary of Rezo's potential to burst him down. And particularly as most of the support movements from Nigma have they've sort of left Mind Control on his own. It's been the mid lane and top lane where the backup from GH and Kuro has been needed the most during these lanes.
Yeah, if you're VP, priority number 1, secure AM's game. This is the hero that can and will win you the game if he has a free farm kind of time. And if you're Nigma, well, your priority is less about securing a key hero's farm and more about shutting down the AM or SF.
The move here, and again, put to a stop by Zayats. Blocks them off with the Fisher. In fact, he's turning. Miracle is very, very low, but he hits 6 just in time. Little bit of miscommunication there as they pop the Trollo and Cold Embrace him at the same time.
I think Kuro wasn't sure if it was going to pop the ult, and then, like you say, at the same time, one of those slight miscommunications.
Well, Kuro, he's going to be dead as well. They dive on forward. He's trying to get himself back under the tower. Will pop the 1, turns with a quick splinter blast, but Kuman's in, picks up the kill. Extra bit of gold for the anti-mage. We'll see what Nigma can clean up now in response. Weeha, he's finally made the move up here. Remnant off the mark. He'll still jump in with that astral step. He's not got it available, as that was both of the charges used. Solo is starting to heal up. He has the jump, Weeha, but knows it's unlikely to hit with the movement speed that Solo has, so he's got to sort of let him walk off. We'll have another attempt with the Remnant here if he wants to, but he's going to turn, look towards a bigger kill. Throws the Remnant out quite early and from a little too much of a distance. Cannot catch Resolution, as Resolution is able to simply walk away, along with Solo also surviving that attempt from Nigma to turn things around up top.
Yep. Kuman, the second, they realize he gets that kill underneath the tier 2, just TP's bottom to continue farming. Does find himself with a troll down here, but this is okay for him if the supports make this move down bottom. And the second Miracle TP's down, yeah, they're here. And it's not the supports, it's no one.
And there's no ult. It's still on cooldown from that attempt up top. Mana Void's a little early, but it's fine. The job's done. He's dead. Miracle's out of lane once more. Weeha and Kuro, they're coming in. They really want to punish no one for this. Jump forward, but it's not enough damage to burst down this SF at the moment. They don't have the tools to do so, as he can walk away. They'll turn towards Zayats, but they can't even catch him. He's able to step back. They're heading in. It's a bit of a trap, bit of a setup. No one with the Requiem turns around, fishes out. Kuro's dead. Solo will pop, but Weeha, he's committed for this. He'll die for that attempt onto Solo. As sure, they get the Enchantress, but they lose 2, and they lose Weeha. As Weeha's Void Spirit game, he's desperately trying to make these ganks happening, but they're just not. He's starting to fall behind.
Yeah. No one's SF is always so impressive to watch. He's just landing multiple raises in succession. Great place and time to use the ultimate with the fear, pushing people back. And it allows him to kill the Wyvern without Wyvern getting off any spells. And that's the key thing there for that fight. And it just seems constant action. Wherever the poor AM goes is where the rest of the heroes want to go. It's something like, okay, Miracle goes there, and then VP's like, oh, Miracle's there, let's go kill him to secure Kuman's game, and then the rest of Nigma shows up. So wherever AM goes, action seems to follow. He just keeps trying to go away from the action.
Get away from the troll, and
yep.
Maybe you can try and bully mind control a little bit, see if you can get him to use a bit of his mana. You're looking for the setup here, at least between the 3, it's still kind of hard. Mind Control is level 7, relatively tanky. Do they have the burst to do this? It looks like they probably do with this rate. Mana Void's out, Impetus, Mind Control's just straight up dead. They can pull off the kill with ease, as VP just continue to make some really smooth moves, as Nigma are struggling to keep up with the pace that VP's playing. And they're doing it with his anti-mage lineup. They're getting away with having a brilliant start for Kuman.
Yeah, winning the early game with heroes like AM, or we saw Secret do with Spectre, it's like, well, you're meant to lose the early game and you have this super late game winning hero, like, things are going fantastic in that position, so. And they've got some great hero matchups this game. The AM against, like, the Necrophos, Wyvern, Void Spirit. The Enchantress is amazing. You've got a Dispel for the Necrophos Ghost Shroud, which is partly why they probably weren't afraid of this Necro pick, because they probably felt like, oh, we've got answers to it. We don't have to be afraid, so.
Here we go down bottom, no one. He's got that Invis room ready to get in position. Requiem out from the trees. It's going to knock them back perfectly into the 2-man Fisher. They'll turn, raise down Mind Control. Over to Kuro they go. As Zayats, he's even found Miracle. Walks into the tree line, cancels the stun immediately. So the TP immediately with that Echo Slam. I mean, he's playing very, very nicely this game, Zayats Shaker. He's doing it all, and he's setting up kills like that. Suddenly 2 cores are off the map for Nigma. VP can continue to make so much use of this space. I mean, we said it was greedy, the dancing around in the jungle, it all paid off. VP opening up this game very nicely. 12 minutes in, 3K lead, and their 3 cores are top of the net worth.
Yeah, this is dream start for VP. And they're just continuing to apply pressure with towers being claimed up top. Kuman finally being left alone a little bit to get some good farm in. He's not too far from that Battle Fury, despite how much pressure's being put on him. He's farming incredibly well. And none of these Nigma cores have really been able to find much impact on this game. There's so much pressure on him to keep trying to make these moves and make kills happen. Tiny's not anywhere near a Blink Dagger, so really does feel like it's all on the Void Spirit to make rotations.
Yeah, he just hasn't been able to find that flow you want to as a Void Spirit. 1, 3, and 2. His impact hasn't been great. And, yeah, this is not a hero you want to AFK farm on. You are a hero killer, and he's just not been able to find the opportunity to do so this game with the way that Nigma's moved around and how VP's been able to set up for it each and every time, making sure that this Void Spirit cannot just jump in and get quick kills. VP have played it very nicely.
And now that they've got this lead, they're happy to kind of sit back and say, well, if they come at us, we'll fight them, but we're just happy to farm. We have AM, SF, Timbersaw, all these heroes that are just going to scale incredibly well.
Make a go on to Resolution. Miracle in the mid lane starts to chase down Solo. Let's see if they can kill this Timber. They've got a lot of burst, and with the Reaper's Scythe, that'll do it. They bring him low enough, they knock him out the game. 4 and 45 seconds. Zayats also goes for a TP out and will manage to escape. No control in time. Yules pick up just there for no one. He's able to utilize it immediately onto Miracle. Couldn't have come at a better time, that delivery.
Yeah, like they already had vision of each other, and I think Troll's like, oh, I'm fine, and I see you, and then Courier drops off the killing item. Well, really bad news for Miracle. I feel like that's like his 4th or 5th death this game or something. He is not having a good time. He had 5 deaths on the Troll.
I had multiple deaths on the Troll, multiple deaths on the Void Spirit. You've got 2 cores struggling on Nigma's side. And jungle, I mean, they can't even get the position 5. Nope. That's not a great place to... Sure, it's a very annoying hero with a pretty strong heal, but it's still got to feel kind of bad. You're spending the time moving this Void Spirit around. Because he's down bottom, VP see an opportunity to get in on top, and it's just slowing down Nigma's game to a point where, as we said from the draft, if they're not ahead of this AM lineup, this AM SF are going to become some pretty scary carries. A long time before anything from Weehar is going to scare sort of VP. This, as the Void Spirit behind, it feels like your timing's sort of been lost.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. They are in a world of trouble here. Kuro staying close, knowing that he can't run away, dodging the long rays. Nice little play by Kuro to keep himself alive a bit longer, but it doesn't matter in the end.
Oh, they're crumbling. They're crumbling, so Nigma.
Tough. Yeah, I mean, Weehar makes one good move bottom with a haste rune, but it feels like he was relying on getting like that big rune to make a play, kill Rezo, and they needed the Reaper. So Reaper's a long cooldown. Let's
see what they can do here. As you say, it's still on cooldown, that big old ult, and without that, there's no chance. And even if it was there, they still wouldn't have had him. Rezo too tanky. As he gets away.
Yeah, the only time they're getting kills is with Reaper's Scythe. That's a big problem for Nigma. Battle Fury queued up on Troll, going for some Hail Mary late game catch-up farm. I don't think there's necessarily a better item, but it just feels like well, you're getting your Battle Fury a good 5 to 8 minutes slower than an AM.
Yeah, a hero that's going to be able to farm that much faster with it.
Yep.
It's mid lane. I mean, again, it's your 3 heroes trying to do something about Resolution. They're just unable to do so at this point. No one goes to step in. GH is able to pick up the regen rune though in time, so no one will not be able to refill his bottle, and no one going for the BKB next up. And he knows once that BKB is there, they will not have any sort of significant physical answer at this stage, especially with that Battle Fury build. This Troll's not going to be a huge threat anytime soon. With that BKB, VP can start walking down lanes with their SF at the front, and it's going to be incredibly hard for Nigma to turn up to a 5-man team fight.
Yeah, I like how they're itemizing in this unselfish way, both No One and Resolution, recognizing, hey, we have this AM in our team. You don't need to be greedy or go for these like super late game builds. Like, I feel like most SFs I've been seeing haven't been going for this Yules magic damage build as much. It doesn't scale that well. But with a Yules BKB, you can just be like you say, be a frontliner. Your AM's going to win you the game. And then you've got Rezo's Timbersaw going for team items, getting a pipe, not going for any kind of Bloodstone type build. Just looking to help out his team as much as possible.
Let's see what they can find here. There's going to be a pipe back from Kuro. They really want to go for No One, but No One's able to get the Red Remote, pushing them back perfectly into the 2-man slam from Zayats. The curse comes out. Can they actually... Oh, again, some bad timing, some awkward ultimates from Nigma as they use the Reaper's Scythe and the curse at the same time, meaning that no damage is done at all. It is looking rough as Nigma look to be totally shaken up this game. They've had a few of these type of matches recently. This looks to be another one where VP, they are just outclassing them, outplaying them. It's the AK lead, 22-7. They're this far ahead with an anti-mage lineup. Kuman's at the top of the net worth. I don't know what Nigma can do to slow this one down now.
I think they're quickly running out of options, Owen. Trolls, you know, Battle Fury going to just look to farm his way back in. You're going to need some sick Winter's Curses in these fights to, you know, catch heroes next to the SF or AM to kill them off. Rely on the fact that VP have more farm and abuse what Winter's Curse does, but it's ultimately going to be a tough one. Maybe like a tiny toss where he tosses somebody into the Winter's Curse, since, you know, it's VP. They're a good team. They're not going to just group up for a 3-4-man Winter's Curse. You're going to have to make that happen somehow. Like you can see here, Timber's in the front line, no one next to him. They're just using Resolution as bait, and then they're going to blink in and punish with a kill on GH.
And it seems like it's worked a lot, this Resolution bait. Multiple times this game, you know, Nigma, they've been trying to make plays on the Timbersaw. It didn't work earlier, and it's certainly not going to start working anytime soon with the progression that Resolution's having in comparison to your team. You just cannot kill this man.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're not killing him, but let's say theoretically they managed to throw every spell and kill him off. You're not winning the fight. You're going to lose 3 to 4 heroes just to kill that Timbersaw who's a 3 position. So I don't think there's an outcome where those kind of ganks actually work for them.
He tried for the jump away, still got the step, but no one is there waiting for him. All spells on cooldown. has no further escape. As, that's going to be a tier 2 tower for VP. It's just been a painful Void Spirit game, a very tough one for It really is sort of that way that this hero can just snowball sort of both ways. He went to lane, he did have this situation where they're able to set up some good ganks, make sure that no one gets the kills on him. It is already a hard lane already, I feel, in that 1v1. VP were able to just abuse that perfectly, shut his game down to the point where he's just underleveled, underfarmed, and he cannot have that impact that you sort of see the Void Spirits do that take over the game. You know, they have this matchup mid, they're able to free farm, they make that first rotation, they're getting a double kill. This didn't happen this time around.
Yeah, and playing against no one's SF, it's one of his best heroes. I feel like we just don't talk about it or see it that much because SF has been a pretty weak hero in the meta for quite some time. So one of the best SF players out there, and one of the most aggressive as far as looking for kills with those raids. Like he gets a kill at like level 2 or something.
I think for sort of as a general rule, if you're going to turn up to lane against no one's SF with any sort of medical, we're talking about no one's SF, he will get blown up and popped here. They do manage to kill him off with a Reaper's Scythe. Kuro's lost on the back lines as VP will continue to fight. Fisher block into the mana burn. There's no chance for to jump away. So they do get a kill, but it's costing them heavily. Mid lane, Solo will be dove upon, and Miracle is able to pick up a second. VP, they don't quite have enough mana and resolution to continue to chase GH. So Nigma will get the 2 for 2, considering how the entirety of this game's gone. Definitely the better of moments for Nigma. They're just going to need quite a few more of those before this game gets anywhere close to being even. There's still an 11k difference. It's very early, 26-9. This anti-mage continues to farm out of control.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like they have good answers for him either. Like, yeah, Troll is a good matchup versus the AM, but AM can just avoid the Troll, blink around, go for the black backlines. You don't have much lockdown and control that's good against AM from the rest of the team, so Kuman doesn't really feel threatened at all this game. Like in the laning stage was maybe the scariest part of the game for him. That's why there was all that musical lanes going on. So now that he's escaped that with this huge net worth lead over everyone else in the game, nothing much can kill him.
They've got to, I mean, if you're Nigma at this point, you have to sort of go for some smoke plays, some sort of 5-man movements and try and find and hope for pickoffs, find no one on his own. Anytime that VP have the chance to group up, and even just 2 of them together, it's sort of a tough ordeal for Nigma to fight into.
Yeah, I like that idea that they need to start looking to use some of these ultimates to get them back in the game. Smoke up, find some picks, throw your ultimate to get a kill or 2. Just make sure you can get a kill or 2 and then get out without losing too much while Miracle continues to farm. They'll look to play around his BKB timing more as a team, but until then, getting some pickoffs, not a bad idea. They've even got some decent vision around the bottom side of the map. That's what they're trying to play around. You see this top side completely abandoned, Radiant sentries littering the mini-map. Dire see nothing up there, so they're just playing around their vision.
We're seeing some sort of incredible numbers coming up from the supports. Mid lane around this area, they try and go on to Rezo and Zayat. Jumping in with the step. Hasn't got quite enough burst to even bring Zayat down to half HP. He's fine, healed up.
Fortunately, not a good Winter's Curse opportunity with 2 heroes that don't right-click coming into D-Ward. So they see them coming in, but Nigma, yeah, there's just no damage. Unless they have like all 5 there, and even then I'm not sure they can kill off Timbersaw at this stage. Remember with both Mech and Pipe, all the team items. Love the build we're seeing from Rezo. Not your common Timbersaw build, but fitting the game.
Here we go. 5-man smoke up for Nigma.
Can they
This
kill
is the
Kuman?
move that they wanted to make. Oh,
great
that's
illusion bait.
Illusion. I mean, they have to go for it, right?
Oh,
they don't
he
know.
doesn't. Well, he's smoke. He's out. He blinks in.
Yeah,
So he doesn't. You're right.
He doesn't know. They have to make that attempt. There's no way of them knowing that happened to be the point where an illusion was out.
No. Like
They do have that deep ward down in the lane, but I guess they didn't
Yeah.
see him use the Manta. He was in the trees.
I mean, people will make jokes and memes about people initiating on an illusion because it doesn't break smoke, but he was outside the range where it would break. So he was assuming it's real. And AM did a really cool play. He mantas and keeps his real hero with 1 illusion while sending the illusion off by itself. So typically if there's a 2-1 split after you manta, the real one is by itself. So some good mind games from Kuman.
We'll jump in from Kuman. Incredibly aggressive. He's got the Aegis, Manta Basher, Battle Fury. He knows how darn strong he is. Mana Void comes out a little early. Doesn't do anything at all. So as sort of safe as Kuman's played, you know, some Mana Voids are a little early, non-impactive. As Nigma have had the chance to regroup here around mid, but still, I mean, GH is looking for a chance to get in, but who does he jump on? He doesn't want to toss back either Rezo or Kuman. These heroes will simply kill the heroes that GH tosses them into. As mid lane, jump forward. They're on top of Weeheart. Weeheart dead again, no buyback. He's gone for 45.
Yeah, I think AM blinked in, got a first hit bash, and then there was a fissure follow-up, so he just got chain stunned, and now they're getting picked off one by one.
This one might get called early. It is getting that rough. They're being chased back to the base. We'll see these 2 heroes go down. I don't know how much more of this game Nigma are going to want to play.
I don't think this is early anymore. I think it's being called late, Owen.
Yeah. I think it's maybe time to tap out.
There's some, I guess, there's still a tier 1 up, but this AM is, he's farming creeps in the enemy base after team wiping them.
Yeah. Oh, I felt there was going to be a tough draft for VP to play, but they certainly proved us wrong. They really had a good grasp of how to start the lanes off, and I mean, Nigma just didn't have any sort of grasp at all this game. It was entirely out of their control. VP were able to do whatever they wanted, and Nigma just weren't able to get a single sort of play or move going in their favor.
Yeah, the mid lane was just so, it basically just, to me, decided so much because it meant that GH couldn't pressure the AM's lane as much because he felt like he had to keep pressuring SF since the SF was winning the 1v1 matchup. The only way to stop that is by ganking him. And as a result of GH going mid over and over again, these side lanes for VP won, and they didn't even win mid. No one, like some of those tiny ganks. He
died sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, he died maybe twice in lane, but it felt like they were trading a bit, and also he missed a few of those tosses. Like they missed a few, at least 1 kill.
And then the start just feels so much more important for a Void Spirit compared to an SF. You know, SF, you just go jungle, you're able to catch up in a multitude of ways. With the Void Spirit, if you're not killing, you're not offering anything to the game. You're not going to be able to sort of clear out creeps. I mean, sure, you've got a few nukes to play with, but it doesn't feel good sort of hitting neutral creeps with those spells. You want to be hitting the heroes. We did try this game, but they didn't have the heroes around him to make those plays happen. He's now in mid. Kuman sees a jump opportunity. He's on to GH. The Tiny's dead. Kuman's game continues to be flawless. This is 8-0-8. Abyssal Blade done. 26 minutes in.
Fantastic performance from him there now. Rotating bottom, I think they've caught wind of Miracle being down here.
Oh, they have. And Zayat again. I mean, Miracle will manage to get the BKB off, pop the ultimate. He's trying to turn. They force Zayat out to the side. Doing a decent amount of damage, but the BKB shortly wears off. They'll turn, lock him down with a stun. Miracle's gone. Jump forward from Kuman. He instantly looks towards the next target. Kuro's there. Can he offer any sort of safety? He'll curse the illusion. It's not going to save GH, as GH is dead. Kuro's gone as well. And, I mean, I guess they sort of like the pain, Nigma. They're going to keep this one going.
Yeah, it's starting to look pretty sloppy from them and painful as well.
I'm going to lose mind control here as well.
Yeah.
Kuman's in. Another hero shortly to be dying.
It's just a demoralizing way, I imagine, at least for like Nigma fans to watch, because it's not like they're going for some like, let's just 5-man smoke and take a team fight and try coordinate our spells to get us back in the game. They just got picked off 1 by 1. two team fights. I mean, they weren't team fights. It was AM blinking in, Abyssal and killing one. Somebody tries to save him, gets stunned by Shaker, they die. And it's just domino effect. One dying, the next dying because they try and help them, and so on and so forth.
Down the mid they go. Rex will start to fall here, still at the relatively early 28 minutes. It's coming up to nearly that 1,000 gold a minute mark with the rate that they're stepping up these objectives. 2 sets of ranks taken away. Nigma will have the full lineup back up in a couple of seconds, and there is still a tier 2 alive on the bottom lane, so VP will have to head back. Actually, it's still a tier 1 alive on the bottom lane. They've got 2 towers to clear through. They'll do it in a matter of seconds. With the farm that Kuman has, 2k gold on top of this Abyssal. Honestly, this is some ridiculous numbers we're seeing from the anti-mage. He has just been, he's had an entirely free game, and he has made more than the most of it. Kuman's been excellent with his farming patterns. And now towards mid. Nigma's coming out in the base. Zayats is in. He's going to lock down the 2 of them on the back lines. Kuman commits with the Abyssal Blade to make sure Kuro cannot offer any sort of safety. BKB in the Requiem is pop, pushing Nigma back. Miracle will put the BKB. They do manage to kill off the Shaker, but now Miracle, he'll get the ult off, but his BKB has worn out, so they can continue to play around with him. Kuman commits onto Mind Control. Mind Control will fall. Miracle will die as well. It's a triple kill for Kuman. Let this man continue to kill, see if he can get himself the rampage. He's in, up to the high ground, chasing down Weeha. 1 charges will heal him up. Abyssal Blade's back in 5 seconds, so Kuman can continue to commit. Weeha's going to fall. They're going to call GG. They don't want to give him the glory of getting a rampage before the game is ended. He's going to try and find it, and he will get it. Kuman, a beautiful way to end what really has been a perfect anti-mage game for him. 14-0-12.